Welcome to or welcome back to Mossy Rock Games. I'm making an underwater exploration game and this was my last official week of development for the game. I created this game for a game jam competition with some of my friends, so I do have a hard deadline. Even after the jam is over, I'll keep on developing and posting videos. With that in mind, let's get started. Like I said, this was my last week of official development and there were tons of bugs, so I should start fixing issues and polishing the game, right? Wrong. If you saw last week's video, you know that I hit some kind of writer's block. I tried to make new creatures, but I just ended up making stick figure animations. Well, I'm not sure what happened, but this week I felt such a crazy rush of creativity, which led me to make some new creatures for the game. Previously, I'd been using Blender for animations and Unity for the movement, but to speed up the process, I used Blender for the movement as well this week. That way, I could avoid all of the coding, because spending hours debugging in the challenge would be irresponsible, even for me. I decided that the Leviathan should lie down on the seafloor, disguised as a rock. Although if you look closely, you can see its tail move a little bit. When it finally has the motivation, it dashes towards you, its jaws outstretched. The creature is completely blind, and uses the vibration in the water around you to detect you. If you're able to dash away in time, it has no choice but to turn around and hide again. I also modeled this eel-looking creature, which detects when you're nearby and then jumps out at you, which, now that I think about it, is pretty similar to the last creature's behavior. Because I wanted some people to playtest the game, I needed a semi-playable prototype. I created some UI in Procreate and created the title screen. I used Unity's scene management system to link everything together, and soon things were looking pretty solid. I ended up getting a lot of positive feedback, along with a list of bugs to fix. Most of them were pretty easy to solve, so the game was looking a lot more polished by the end. At this point, I didn't have a lot of time left. I realized that because I was so bad at UI, I had to move away from the fishing theme that I had originally planned. I decided instead that I would model some kind of artificial looking machine in Blender, and I used some random colors to mimic a dirty texture. I placed it at the bottom of the map, and because the jam is due so soon, I decided to make the world feel a little bit less open world focused and build the map towards the goal. What is the goal, you ask? Well, that's a perfect transition into how I decided to finalize the story of the game. I'm not sure if I want to keep it this way permanently, but I decided to use the machine, which I'm calling the reactor, as an incentive for the player to go deeper. Basically, the reactor is poisoning all of the fish, and to help save the town, the player has to disable it. Once the player is able to turn off the reactor, which they can do by collecting keys from around the map, they win the game. Along the way, they'll have to face the Leviathans, harmful creatures, oxygen deprivation, and other dangers. I haven't gone too far with this system yet, and I'm still working on expanding the map, but I've got a good 2 or 3 days left to continue, so hopefully I'll be right on time. My chances of winning the jam are pretty good. I'm up against 3 friends, which makes 4 people in total. I also don't think I'll be posting a video next Sunday, not because I'm taking a break, but because I'm working on posting the Mega Devlog. But what is the Mega Devlog, you say? Well, I guess you'll have to wait for another day. See what I did there? I'm sorry, I'll just tell you now. The Mega Devlog is a devlog that summarizes all of the work that I've done, from the beginning when I opened up a blank Unity project to the very end where I have a working prototype. The difference is that I'll be talking about it from a more personal story perspective, whereas in the devlogs I talk about it a little bit more technically, and I definitely skipped over a few things too. The last thing I want to talk about in this video is the audio for the game. Up until now, I've built up the environment with fish, monsters, and post-processing, but it's all felt a little bit empty, up until now. I spent some time this week writing a theme, which is really just a compilation of a few random notes on my piano, which I loop inside of the game world. Honestly, it doesn't sound that terrible for the first try. That's everything I did this week. As always, thank you so much for watching until the end. I'll see you in the next video.